Hello guys, welcome back to SSA Performance. Behind me we've got a Glanza in, what we just built the engine for. This one's been fully forged and etc. So when we've been away, me and Sean have been away on holiday, Reese has been putting the engine in and everything all back together, ready to start up really. The reason why I haven't been uploading for a while is because we had a lot of issues with it's gotten mad at really, and plus we've been away at holiday for like nearly 2 weeks and getting all that prepared. So more videos will be coming soon, 100%. I've got so much video footage to record. So
we bought some camera equipment. There's a tripod over there, and then we finally got a tripod. Yeah, otherwise me and Dan are holding the camera like this.
Yeah, and plus, as you can see by the exposure on my face, I've got a light as well for my camera, so you can see clearly on the videos. But we'll be getting some more camera equipment soon, and have some wireless mics, so the audio will be a lot tip-top condition. So
better for road tests as well.
Yeah. So
sometimes you can't hear anything because all you can hear is wind.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be really good for that.
Yeah, and also I've got the GoPro for the tripod, so a lot more time lapse and a lot more better footage. So
yeah. As Dan said, I was on my own for 2 weeks because these boys was on holiday at the Dominican Republic. So I had to do all this by myself. Before they left, Dan helped me get the engine and the gearbox in, and then I've had to do everything else. So as I said, first thing was we had a couple of problems. So this car was given to us essentially as a rolling shell, and all the bits for this car was in his boot and in the back. So he's got exhaust systems in there. Literally, everything that's needed to build a Glanza from a rolling shell was in there, and it came with this lovely little plenum. Unfortunately, we've decided to not run this because you have to do a couple of modifications to get this to work properly, and the guy wants his car back. So a couple of problems that come with this are as follows. The throttle cable is not long enough. The mounting point for this throttle cable is down there, and if you look, the actual plenum itself is a lot longer. So the throttle body itself doesn't sit there, it sits well over here. So you have to get a different throttle cable. The heater matrix hoses as well. As you can see, the stock inlet kinks up 90 degrees and gets it up around the fuel rail, out the way, out the back of all this. This is completely straight. So I don't have to show you, but you can imagine me trying to fit that in there. It was clashing with the heater matrix hoses, some wires at the back, and obviously we had that throttle cable problem. So I let the customer know, and he said just go ahead and fit a stock one, and don't fit this one. So that's that. I had to paint all this up, get it all nice and pretty. Fitted the SF Performance turbo kit. Looks beautiful. It's got a TD04 on there. I just have to fit the feed return. All this comes as a kit, so this comes with the manifold, the downpipe which is down there, lovely jubbly job, and it also comes with screamer as well. So that's what is included in the kit. Unfortunately, it does not come with a turbo, and it does not come with a wastegate. So we had to get the turbo from our good friend Midnight Turbos. We got that turbo off him, and then we just need to get a wastegate for him, because one of the downsides of this car, and a downside of like buying a car that's like a running project essentially, is unless you want to go through absolutely everything to make sure it's all there, some things will be missing. So the firing ring for his wastegate he's bought us is missing. So it's either we order a new firing ring from Tile, or we just get a new wastegate. A couple other things, like there was a king lead in there that was broken, so we've had to use another king lead for now. I don't think you can buy king leads on their own, so we're probably going to have to get a full set of these, which is a bit of a shame, because you know, we don't want to give the guy who in his head has got everything needed for his Glanza to run a bill saying you've got things missing here and there. So that's what we've gave him, an intake manifold. We've just chucked a couple of things in just to saving them pennies. Another thing to note, I've had to fit the stock fuel rail for now, just to get it running. As Dan did mention, this car has been fully forged by ourselves. It's currently on 0 miles. So rather than fitting the link, because this car is gone on a link, rather than fitting the link and then potentially running into problems with wiring, it's best to keep the process of elimination as small as possible, so we can keep it on the stock ECU, stock fuel rail, just to get it running to make sure all the engine's good, everything's not leaking, blah 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 blah, like the normal checkovers we do here. And then once we know the car's all good, it runs good, all that jazz, Sean will go ahead and get his plug and play lube on the link, and then there'll be new fuel rail. I think he's got a TD one in the back, and he's got some big EV14 injectors as well. What are you making noise for, bro? So, so yeah, I was just doing all the niggly little bits here and there, like I've had to do a coolant loop, made some brackets up because this intercooler is a chunk, man. It is huge. There's my hand for reference. It's massive, and it's also a girthy boy. It's what, probably, I think I measured it was like 65 mil, which is massive for one of these. So unfortunately, it'll flow like 700. It's massive. Downside of this, again, intercooler was supplied by the customer. I don't want to have to call him and say you need to get a new intercooler because it clashes with this, that and the other. So we do it on quite a lot of them anyway. I've done it on my personal car and Sean's. What we've done is we take out the stock bracket that holds the bonnet latch in. You guys, if you've got one of these cars, you know what it is, just a really piss thin, flimsy little bracket that holds the slam panel to the bottom support here. Unfortunately, I've had to delete it to get this intercooler in. I've had to make some little brackets that hang off the side of the crash bar just to keep it nice and stiff, both sides. And then we've got Ben, our fabricator, who you'll see later in this video. He got some alley welding done underneath here just to get it mounted. I've used the OEM mounting point for the under tray, so you can still fit the under tray and keep this intercooler. But now I will quickly put the screamer pipe down and just show you guys that this is not. It's moving the car. Yeah. So that is now bolted in securely. Downside of this intercooler though, I've had to make a fancy little galvanised little bendy boy just to keep the bonnet latch nice and stiff. Obviously, as I mentioned, I've had to delete the main beam that holds the bonnet latch in to fit the cooler.
The best side about this intercooler, we've still got the original crash bar.
Yes, I'm glad I managed to keep the crash bar in, because sometimes, pardon me, is Sean's car don't have one, does it?
No.
No.
His intercooler's way bigger than this.
So it's nice to have that extra bit of, what would we call this? A second chance at life in case you hit a bush at 70 mile an hour. This will probably save your life. So I'm very glad I've managed to keep this in.
And save your turbo kit.
And save your turbo kit and your engine. And your radiator, hopefully. But that's if it makes it that far.
Probably not that far.
Yeah, but so yeah, that was all fitted up and done. What else did I do while you guys were away? Just sorted the gearbox out really. All the linkages are on, slaves on.
Do you want to mention about when we filled the oil up the other day? As you can see, on the floor.
Yeah, passing the camera. I'll take them underneath the car. So as you can see, the gearbox looks relatively dry, and then you get to this point down here. Where is it on the camera? There you go. It looks as if I've not tightened the drain plug, so I was panicking a little bit. I'm panicking, and it turns out it's actually not that. It's almost as if it's got no sealant in the middle of the box. It's leaked a nice big old puddle. So today, me and Dana have got the lovely task of taking the gearbox back out.
Strip the gearbox.
Strip the gearbox
Check
down.
the condition of the box, of course. We're not going to just seal it and then put it back together.
No, double check, guys. Double check.
We're going to check the gearbox, make sure everything's tip-top condition before we put the box in, because we don't want any issues in case anything happens.
Yeah, again, this was supplied to us by the customer, so we haven't taken it apart or rebuilt or anything. We just wire-wheeled it all, prepped it and painted it just to make it look nice and
pretty. It does look nice and pretty.
It does look nice and pretty.
Especially with a nice, fresh built head by me. We're all painted.
So if you guys want good head work, go to Dan. Film all this, guys, but I just didn't bother because it's quite boring. And at the time I didn't have a tripod, so I would have been all trying to spanner in there with the camera and whatnot. So
yeah, I got the 10mm, guys.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think we should take the box out.
Yeah, let's take this box out. Have you shown them the boost pipes yet, or is that coming later in the video?
Later in the video.
Later in the video. Cool. We'll take the box out and then we'll get back to you guys.
So there we have it. Box is out now. So we're gonna strip the box down. Focus. So we're gonna strip the box down, take the casings off, and obviously reseal it. But we're gonna check the condition of the box first before obviously resealing the box. So we don't want to put it all back together and the box is a little bit faulty. Check all the synchros and etc. So
there's a little tray.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on this little tray now, just in case any oil goes everywhere, even though we drain the oil.
Yeah. So hopefully the box is alright, doesn't need a rebuild. As I said, we don't know. We just got given the box from the customer. It was unpainted, and because it's gone, we are literally building the whole car. So we didn't want to just put a dirty box in. So all we did was just spray it and put it back in. So hopefully the box is alright, just to set against us to save money.
Yeah, also it's got a new clutch in as well, stage 4 competition clutch, link in the description.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, mate.
So just going to go on our website, clutches for sale, turbo kits for sale, and etc. So let's start stripping this box.
Yeah, I've just made down up the time lapse, guys. This gearbox has 150% been apart before. As we said earlier, the reason why we pulled it out of the car is because it was leaking out the seams. A couple of things I want to show you. Can I have the camera?
Oh, that's all right.
Thank you, sir. You're going to come down here with me. So, a couple of things to know. These are called, these are basically, there's balls and there's sliding pins in here on springs. They're spring loaded.
So
there's one. What they do is they hold the selector forks, which is there, there's 3 of them total.
And one at the bottom.
One at the bottom down there. They hold tension on the shifters. The balls are missing, which is not a good sign. The main reason why I've asked him to grab the camera and stop the time lapse is because here is your 5th gear setup. There's 3 springs in there, 1, 2 and 3. See, he's laughing already because he knows. I taught him how to build a box and now he knows. There's meant to be 3 springs in there, 1, 2 and 3. As you can clearly see, there's nothing in there at all. How lucky we've gotten.
So this will just...
Do you know something else as well? What I've just noticed it on the camera.
What?
So that indent there, everyone, there's meant to be a clip there that holds everything on. There was no clip.
Well, that just normally slides off anyway, but it takes a bit of force.
There's normally a circlip underneath those teeth to hold everything nice and stiff.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah,
this is just...
So guys, it's a very, very good job we've pulled this gearbox apart because this could have been catastrophic.
Yeah, this would have damaged a lot of components in this box, just scrapped it.
Yeah.
But now I'm a bit worried what else is going to be wrong with it.
Hopefully nothing. We're going to keep pulling it apart now, so we'll carry on with the time lapse, but I just wanted to quickly show everyone, in case you've never seen a gearbox, or in case some of you know what gearboxes are and you know how to build them, that would have caused major problems. Essentially what that is here is the synchronizer hub itself. So this is what helps it change gear. So this is constantly spinning, and this is the actual synchronizer itself. This is what shifts onto the gears.
Good job we didn't
that goes onto there like that. As you can see, there's an indent there. And there's meant to be a spring that holds against that flat plane that keeps it nice and tight. So that would cause vibrations. It will come loose. Go on.
There we go. Oh, it just popped off.
I'm so glad it was leaking because we've found major problems with it. So, there's the reverse gear. Just literally pull it out of its hole.
There it is, then that's tight.
I know. First bolt in here, it's as tight as it probably should have been.
Looks like this is never been apart there. Stacks in as well.
Whoa.
The magnet for the gearbox.
That is gearbox doo-doo right there.
That is bad.
We've literally rebuilt a box last week. Good customer of ours. 7 years it's been since he's had a rebuild, and the magnet was fairly clean, so that is never a good sign. Here, grab the fork and the shafts, give them a little wiggle.
Just like that.
And then they're out.
Just like that.
I don't know if you guys can see. Hopefully you guys can, but there you go.
Just, there you go.
So that's the stacks out.
Reese has stripped all the shafts down. Okay, that sounds good.
I stripped your shaft. Playing with shafts to keep it short and sweet. I've been playing with shafts, and now my shafts are all in pieces. Fourth, where the synchro sits on. This is first and second where the synchro sits on. Visual inspections. To be fair, it was looking bad at first, as you've already seen in the video. Real bad thing in this box, after what you've already seen, apart from worn synchros, that's third, it's worn. This is the output shaft top bearing that sits on here, like that. And then mine's spinning it, you can hear it. It sounds like a skateboard that's been left in the grass. It's knackered. So me and Sean reckon that someone's pulled this box apart to try and diagnose a noise or a crunch or whatever. Third and fourth synchro, pretty worn, so that will cause the crunch, and this will be the noise. So I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, this, me and Sean was like, because the press was struggling. It will carry on, but we don't want to break anything, because even though it's a gearbox and they are strong, they are still quite delicate. So you've got to be careful when you press stuff off, otherwise you'll chip gears and smash things. When me and Sean first take apart my old gearbox, the NA1, we shattered third gear into like 6 pieces because it was on that tight. So you've got to be careful, and that was stuck on the shaft. So I don't know if you can see it in the video or not.
You can see all the play.
You can hear it, can't you? And unfortunately it has worn the shaft down, as you can see there. I can wipe my finger, but it doesn't get rid of those heat. They're all heat marks from where it's got stuck on and seized on, so the bearings failed. This is still reusable. Just got to get a bit of emery cloth, be very, very careful, very slow, and just try and take that heat and wear mark off, because we don't want to ruin the new bearing putting that one on. So yeah, these are the shafts all taken apart. I have already pressed first and second synchro hub back on, because it was all in pieces like this one is. Yeah, another thing to note as well, there's retaining clips and retaining washers, as you can see there and there and there. Earlier in the video we mentioned about the springs being missing in 5th gear. That's what the springs look like. So this sits inside of this hub, the synchro hub, just like that. And as you can see in the 5th gear one, they're completely missing, so it will cause 5th gear to either pop out or crunch. So we need to find some of these. Luckily we do have some spares lying around, I think. Don't quote me on it though. But back to what I was saying, here is a retaining ring. I don't know if you can see in the video, hopefully you can. That is not the right shape, it's like split out open. These are meant to be spring loaded, so when they don't spring back, the boxes have got hot, and it's basically tempered this, so it's lost its malleability, and it gets nice, it gets like stiff, it doesn't elasticate and return back to what it should be. So like there's, I'll see if I can get it because my hands are slippy. There's first and second. If you can see the difference, my gloves are so dirty. There you go.
Yeah,
see it's oval that. Even though this one is bigger, this one, nice catch, that was close. This one's ovaled out, so that will need replacing. Otherwise, it can cause the gears to move, add increased wear. So we'll have to try and find one of them for him as well. But first impressions after the box is apart wasn't as bad as we was expecting. Obviously, the things that we saw at first was like,
the casings, obviously, that's why we pulled it apart, because obviously it's leaking from the casings. So I've cleaned all them up, so that's all ready prepped for silicon.
Yeah.
But first thing is, Reese has got to build these shafts back up.
Yeah, and then we will, as Dan's already done, is clean the casings for us. So once these are done, we'll check the bearings in the casing, because if I bring you over here, there is more bearings that you have to worry about. You've got 2 here. These are your input and output shaft bottom bearings. These 2 there. These typically never tend to go. I don't know why. We don't know why, but they're normally, as you can hear, you can't hear anything. I'm spinning it right now, so it's good. This one got a bit of noise, but you feel inside there, and it feels completely fine. So I'm sure with a bit of oil in there, it will be fine. And then your diff bearing just sits in this little race here. So that is a gearbox apart. hopefully it goes smooth when I put all this back on, and we're going to replace the things that are necessary and whatnot, and obviously put bolts back that weren't there in the first place.
Yeah.
And hopefully this gearbox should be...
I need to find some balls
mint.
as well.
Yes, the balls. We like balls in this place. We love gearbox balls. That will cause your shifter to not work, or it'll be really tight because they're not under tension, and once it goes in gear it doesn't want to come back out of gear because there's nothing retaining it from like moving. So I have to try and find some balls for him, and hopefully this gearbox will be done, sealed, back in the car today.
I told him don't run, he went, oh, it's D-series. He went, yes, it's D-series.
Put a brand new core and a brand new ICM in it now.
That,
It's on the board, by the way. Oh yeah.
Smack that case.
Yeah.
Smack that all on the case. Smack that all on the case. Smack that all on the case. Smack that. Oh.
So there we have it. Box is all built up now. What we're going to do now is put it in the car. So we put all this back together, and another part has just arrived. Here's Reese.
It's not me. I'm not the part.
Came in is a Turbo Smart wastegate. Just come back in stock. Oh yeah.
Is it a Compgate 40?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Link in the description our website. We'll sell these. I think the prices have gone up on these, have they, Sean? I believe. Yeah.
Not on our end, by the way.
Yeah.
Not on our end. They've gone up from our supplier. I think it's just all across the board.
Yeah, everything's just gone up in price. Everything.
You know what I say to that? Can I swear? Fuck Donald Trump and that stupid tax, man. I tried to buy some Civic parts off eBay because I've got a Civic, and all the Civic eBay stuff has gone up by like triple the price. Everything on eBay that you can normally buy for these as well, triple the price. So I like that, Donald Trump. Have that, Donald Trump. Fuck you.
Okay, so we're gonna put this box in, and then we can fit the new external wastegate on the new manifold.
So then all that's left really, like the hard part, is just we've got to make a full system.
Yeah.
As I said earlier in the video, the customer supplied a couple of exhausts, but they're all at 2.5 inch, and he wants big power. Yeah. So we need to have as little restriction as possible. So we said go ahead and make a custom 3 inch back. So there's no back pressure problems, and he wants to push like 1.5, 1.6 bar.
Yeah, and also Sean has just made a plug and play loom for this engine, for the Link ECU. So that's all done now. So obviously we're going to start on the stock ECU, and obviously Reese and Sean, Sean's obviously going to upload a base map and get this running on the Link. So it's going to be very exciting, this build. It's all new parts on this engine. When everything's all back together, we can actually fire it up properly. Even though we've checked it's got oil pressure, but we can leave it running up, and we are going to have a fan on the radiator so we can get up to temperature, and then we will drop the oil straight away, and then we'll do another oil change, and it's straight in the dyno, singing 300 horsepower. Ready?
There we go. And then ready to kink it off slightly.
I think it's tilt this way. Yeah, good.
What, needs coming tilting down? Or needs to go up, needs to go that way?
Let's go this way.
That way?
Yeah.
Oh well.
So it's the next day. We got the welder and Ben. He's currently fabricating some boost pipes for this Toyota Glanza. So what Ben's been doing so far, he's tapped all it all up. but we're currently making the bottom half where it fits into the intercooler at the bottom, just down there. Do you want to explain what you've been doing, Ben, if you don't mind?
Yeah, of course. So, as you can see, we got the first stages pipe done. Just trying to figure out how to connect it to the cooler here. Other selection of pieces that we got. I think what I'm going to do is chop this U-bend, put a little extension, a straight piece in there, that'll kick this out a bit, and then have a 90 going off it and up into the pipe like that. But as you can see, it's a bit of a gap that we need to fill yet. So it's coming together.
Yeah, these couplers will be changed as well. They will be black. It's just blue just for now, just to get it all mocked up. Because that's what the kit come with, what we order from every time.
Yeah.
I get them all brushed up. So basically, it's going to look mint.
For the time being, everything is obviously tacked up, but everything will get cleaned down. Probably sand it a little bit, decontaminate it, degrease it, put a nice, beautiful weld on there.
Yep.
It just helps when you're trying to put everything together to not commit and fully weld until you know exactly where you want all your pipes to go, you know?
Yep. So Ben's welded it all together now. We're just having a little bit of an issue, but we can fix it, of course. We just forgot because it doesn't have a radiator fan, so we're just checking the clearances, and the clearance is bang on. So there's nothing to worry about. What I was thinking about earlier about welding it all together, we're not going to weld it all together. We're going to put a Jubilee coupler the section because it's going to be awkward to get in and out of the boost pipe, so it's like very easy to fit and remove. So what now we're going to do is I'm going to pass the camera over to Ben so you can talk more briefly in it.
So initially we were going to have this all as one solid welded piece of pipe, but we've come to the conclusion now that it would probably be best if instead where this joint is, this union between this section of what was U before, we'll put a Jubilee clip and some silicone there, and we'll weld this as one solid piece, and that will just be a little bit extra. But you'll see that it does still line up, but for the sake of assembly and putting it all together, it's going to be a lot easier if these are in two pieces. If it was all one solid like we'd initially planned, it'd be very difficult to get it in and out of the engine bay. So
it's possible to do, but it's just going to be very awkward.
yeah, definitely, definitely doable. But for what it's worth, it's you might as well just put that one fitting there and save a lot of headache. I think our next step is focusing on welding this together. I think I'm going to have to chop down this flange here. I'll weld that solid, and then we can see about what we might have to do to line it up and make sure that we're clearing the fan.
So that's all welded together now. It's all cooled down, because with Ali it gets red hot. So that's the position we're in right now. Ben needs to weld a bevel over here, like on this stock one already. It's already been done. So the coupler sits nice and it will not pop off.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, good enough.
Not you, Siri.
It looks good.
Yeah, I'll whack a bead on there and then
It's all done then.
Yeah.
So that's a now end of the video now, guys. I hope you have enjoyed the video. There will be part 2 coming shortly of the startup and more about the boost pipes and etc. But if you see behind me, the dyno room has got all new banners up. We're sponsored by Wasner, and we've got some other banners from our part supplier. And this shell behind me, as you can see on the dyno, that's one of our other project cars. You probably see that in a couple of months' time. We've got loads of other projects.
It looks in a bit of a sorry state right now, but don't be fooled. This thing is fully,
Look at your engine bay.
fully
There's no engine in
sealed.
it.
So as you can see, it's all been, well, you've got all the Raptor, and you've got all the arms have been done. Everything underneath this car is absolutely mint. So
Yeah.
it looks a bit sorry for itself, but
It will be eventually built by us and mapped and built. Yeah, everything should be fully restored on this car. So that's the end of the video now, guys. Hope you liked this video. Comment down below any questions. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.